All right, Brad, we're joined by a trio here today.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, no, that's three by my count. Yeah. We've got Omar from Lizardcube.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing? We've got Cyril from .emo. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good.
And we got Stephanie of Tinsley PR.
Tinsley PR.
Yeah.
Stephanie of the Internet.
Yeah, Stephanie of the Internet has joined us as well.
In the flesh.
Yeah.
I'm here.
And you've brought Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap here for PlayStation 4. It's cool to see Wonder Boy coming back. How did this project get off the ground?
So he hasn't been there hasn't been any Wonder Boy game since 25 years ish.
Yeah.
For me, I'm a big fan of the old Sega games, and I've been always kind of like fantasizing about doing something with that series. So a few years ago, the timing was right, and I said, okay, let's try to pitch and make a remake of The Dragon's Trap, which is sort of like a cult, classic for a lot of Sega kids. And then I met .mu, and they were on board, and we managed to entangle the license for it and make the project happen.
Yeah, licensing seems like it would be tricky for something like this.
Yes.
But it's a passion project initially. Like it's really something I wanted to do.
Cool. Well, let's take a look at it.
Sure. So I'm gonna skip a bit the beginning because there are a few things we haven't shown yet. But basically, the game starts and you play the end of the previous game called Monsterland. You start as kind of human form, fully equipped, and as you beat the final boss, your character gets cursed and turn into a lizard monster.
Right.
So in this episode, you actually end up playing mostly as those animal characters. So here we're kind of like showing you a lizardman, which is the first form you play. And as the game evolves, you end up like being transformed into all of them, and each animal have different abilities, which allows you to explore the world. So it's an early kind of Metroidvania type of game.
Yeah.
And being a retro game, we work really hard to try to keep it to feel like the original felt in terms of control, in terms of physics. We even went and added this little fun feature when you can actually get a password. And you can actually input the old password from the Master System version and resume your save in that version.
That's cool.
Do you still have your passcode booklet?
Yeah,
Do you still
dig
have
up
it?
manual.
All your
scribbled in the
saves.
back of a manual somewhere.
But we found that lots of people like on the Facebook page were like remember the password. So they will just really enjoy like inputting that password and resuming the game.
Yeah.
And you can get this password and put it back in the Master System and resume the game.
And it'll work there too.
Yeah.
Go back and forth.
So it's like cross-save.
Cross-save
Cross-save.
for Master System.
Yeah, exactly.
Naturally.
Finally.
It's like cross decades.
Cross-generational save.
Yeah.
But then the cool thing also is that it will work on the other versions of the game on the Nintendo Switch and on the Xbox One as well. So it's like cross-save everywhere.
So will that be an easy way to unlock like trophies and achievements on the Xbox One and PS4 if you just like pass your passwords back and forth to unlock stuff?
That's a great question.
You still have, for example, the trophy you still have to beat, that challenge
so
or
you
that
still
boss.
have to. Okay, all right.
So no.
No.
That's a cute little feature that we thought the retro player would like.
Cool.
But obviously, the normal game you can save and it's auto-saving. We're not that crazy. So when the game started, you sort of like left in that village, and you have to sort of figure out where to go. I'm buying some equipment here. It has kind of this RPG component where you buy equipment to raise your attack point, defense point. So I'm banging out more here. Okay, I'm buying all that. And auto equipped, but you can see, inventory, you buy those items and you can tweak them. And as they happen, every equipment has different kind of like stats depending on the character.
Right. Yeah.
So the best ammo for like Lizardman may not be the best one for, Oakman or Lionman.
Yeah, each animal has its own skills. So basically, Oakman can fly, Piranha Man can swim, Mouseman can climb walls, and so it enables you to access different parts of the game as you progress.
Yeah.
Secret here.
And there's a lot of secrets.
Yeah,
Obviously.
lots of secret doors.
This project started because it was sort of like trying to reverse engineer the original game to try to understand if there were secrets that we didn't heard about. And I spent so much time doing that. At some point, I knew enough about the game that I felt like, okay, I know I can make a remake that's actually faithful. So we put in all the secrets of the original, and we're adding some more. That's sort of the idea behind this project.
Maybe you should go back to the village to show the cool new feature.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. So one of the other feature we're just announcing right now is that while you play the game at any point, you can press a button and it switches
Oh, wow, nice.
to the old game
Yeah.
graphics.
But still 16:9 and
It's
Right.
16
all
by
that
9.
stuff.
The original
Yeah.
was 4:3, 30 hertz.
Right,
So it's
yeah.
so, and you can
Yeah, so
actually
you
do
look
that
at
with the sound too.
Oh,
Some
nice.
switching,
wow.
and then I've got the old
Cool.
soundtrack.
Great.
And you can mix and match them. We have with like old sound,
Okay.
new sound,
Yeah.
and you can switch that. And it works, everywhere in the game. You can see how the
Nice.
kind of the
Oh, wow.
how the
Yeah.
old game looked. So they had this smoking pig character.
Shopping, please.
It's still here actually. There's a little like
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's still there.
yeah, very important. So that's a really nice thing, and people who enjoy the old game, they will be able to they will enjoy switching back and forth
Yeah.
and see how it.
It's just totally seamless.
That's cool.
It's great.
It's good. I like the wipe. I like the transition effect
Yeah.
too. Like it's a yeah.
It's really nice to see when in the middle of action you can see actually the characters moving. Very nice touch. And it also shows how some of the things evolve because some of the location were really not bland, but we had to kind of add. We had to here it's clearly a beach, so some of the location was just weird, and we sort of had to invent how.
Like what's the background?
Yeah,
What's our
what does it look
back
like?
layer
Yeah.
gonna look
Cool.
like? And yeah.
It's a very exploration game. So when you fall, just fall into water, you don't usually have any sudden deaths. When you fall somewhere, there's
That's
Always
just good
something.
stuff. Yeah.
a place to explore. I've got these little items here. I don't have many yet. Fireball is not very useful because it's pretty much what I have already, but you can use them to take down some enemies. Let's see, where am I? Yeah.
It's cool to see some reverence for games that were on the Master System because it didn't necessarily like I was the only person I knew that owned a Master System, so it was just like
It was, it's true. In the US, it wasn't. It had 15% market
Yeah,
share, something
yeah.
ridiculous. In Europe, in Brazil,
right in
the
Brazil
people-
especially,
yeah.
right? It was huge, yeah. Or still, it's probably still huge in Brazil.
Actually, Tectoy. So the company called Tectoy in Brazil has been releasing, updates of the Master System.
Right.
So you can buy this package. In 2012, they have a new version, and there's 50 games in it.
Right.
And it's cute that it still exists.
It's kind of like their own version of that little retro Nintendo
Yeah.
just came out.
Yeah.
Also, all the soundtrack has been reworked with real instruments,
Yeah.
and actually the soundtrack is now a real soundtrack with each tracks with a beginning and an end, whereas on the original version it's
Yeah.
just a loop.
Loop forever. Yeah.
And it's the composer did an awesome work translating these retro 8-bit
Yeah.
tracks to HD. Some tracks have 7 artists working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And about how big is the team on the game?
So at Lizardcube, there's 2 of us full time. There's a guy called Ben Fique who did all the art and animation by himself. So there's only one person on the art.
It's like a lot of
And
art.
everything-
yeah, I was gonna say that
everything's
must have taken some
hand-done.
time.
Yeah, we've got one guy who did all the music composing, and we've got one guy for the sound effect, and we've got me on the programming and design, and we've got a programmer part-time helping us. Cool. So it's kind of 5 people, game side, and then publisher side is Datemu and supporting us with
Right, yeah.
lots of publishing things. I'm gonna maybe skip through a little just to make it a little bit faster. So we're gonna just,
Maybe we could skip to another character.
I'm gonna just
Oh yeah, let's
Skip
show
over.
off one of the other characters.
let me see. Okay, I'm gonna skip a bit here.
All right.
So it's the debug
Yeah.
menu.
So
you
yeah,
can
obviously
load-
this won't be in the
That
final
won't be in
version
the
of the
final
game.
game.
It's- Yeah.
Kids,
It would
close
be
your
too easy.
eyes. I could have input a password actually.
Yeah.
So what happened is that as Lizardman you explore, you go into the desert. There's a door in the sky that leads to a desert, obviously, and then you go to a pyramid and you find this mummy dragon. And as you fight the dragon, you kind of the curse turns you into Mouseman. And Mouseman
We've all been there.
Can walk on this checkered wall thing. So that's his special skill.
Are you free to switch between all the forms that you have access to?
So initially you can, and then eventually you find the.
You want me to play while you explain, or that's fine?
Initially you can, and then eventually you find this kind of like changing room thing, where you can actually
Like swap
yeah.
between your different forms. Yeah. Nice shot. Yeah.
So I asked yesterday what these little blue glowing balls were, and what did you say they were, Omar? They were. It was a hard fat.
Half bits of electrical fat.
Hard fat.
I don't really know. They're really hard to. You can actually. I think the boomerang actually damages them. Yeah.
Oh, you can actually destroy them.
The boomerang does that actually. The boomerang does property, but it's not very useful.
Bags of liposuction.
Yeah. I mean, you got to put it somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, they were the original game, so we see the design now.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was hard to tell, how to. Some like this is obvious, it's a frog, but some of them were like, "What is that thing?" So we have to,
Frog is not impressed.
Intuit.
Yeah.
No.
Did you have any access to any of the creators of the original game? Could you kind of go to them and be like, what is this? Is this a robot? Is this a carrot? Like, what are we looking at?
We did actually, we did even met them in Japan, but the thing is that some of the detail they don't remember actually.
Right. Yeah, that's.
And we ended talking with them, and they
That's
were
amazing.
like, "Oh, you know the game better than us because
Right.
we spent so much time staring at it." And for them, it was like 27 years ago.
Yeah, it's
guy was just
interesting.
living.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that a lot, like as we kind of start to think more and more about like preservation of classic gaming, like and doing interviews with some of these creators that like. You're going to them with these hyper specific questions, and they're just like, I don't know. We had no idea.
We had a deadline. I had to do something.
Totally.
Yeah.
But they were helpful in many things. But the few things where they
a
couldn't
couple of
remember
things were this.
details.
Yeah.
So I'm using a boomerang. Boomerang is really useful if you catch it, you can keep it.
Yeah,
We
it's the best
haven't
way.
been so good at keeping it on the script so far. We've lost a lot of
It
boomerangs.
needs a lot of focus.
Oh.
I have to ask, since you said Metroidvania, is there a map to speak of? Is there a way to get...
There's no map.
Okay, so you just have to kind of keep the layout in
You have
mind.
to draw it.
But it's not too complicated.
It's sort of, it's kind of designed in a way that you can tell where you can go initially. Maybe the first hour is a bit overwhelming for new players because it's like, oh, you can go everywhere, but eventually you find your ways, and so it's not too crazy.
Oh, there goes a boomerang.
Yeah. Should have kept count for boomerangs lost over the course of
We
of
actually
the
keep it
tour.
in the internal stats, so we could maybe we could have a trophy for that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Lose 100 boomerangs.
Lose a boomerang.
Was that exciting to kind of just be able to come up with like achievements and concepts like that for this classic game that you know so well? Just go like, okay, now we can build some of this stuff.
So what we did is that we adding secrets to the game that weren't in the original. So I'm not going to show them to you, but the idea is that we've got sort of half of the achievement like pretty basic, slay this boss thing.
Right.
The other half are like you have to figure out the secrets of the game.
Yeah.
So for the old-time players, they will enjoy that. We're also adding difficulty modes. So the original was a single difficulty. We're adding a hard mode and we're adding an easy mode. So the hard mode is really hard, and it will be what the classic player will enjoy playing.
And I'll add to that it looks, Omar's doing a really great job right now, and the gameplay and controls are very smooth and polished, but it is deceptively difficult. He's making it look really easy. This is actually not. The timing of it is a little is harder than it looks
specific.
for sure.
Yeah, you know, it's this like very old school game design where you know what you have to do. It looks pretty easy, but in the end, it's about timing. It's
Execution.
about understanding the right thing to
messing
do.
around back then.
No, they weren't. They were punishingly
Wait,
difficult.
hang on. I need to see what that room you were just in
Oh,
looks
yeah,
like
the
in
original room,
the
yeah.
original.
It was
Wow.
Lots of
Jeez.
so the kid.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's game where you just get into a door and it just like it doesn't make sense. So we just like embrace this kind of like a slight surrealism.
And Ben did such a good job with all of these environments. I mean, it's just the depth of this 2D is. I mean, at PSX, like I just wouldn't shut up about it. I was like dragging people. Like I'd see friends of mine walking down the aisle and go, "You got to see this game!
Get over here! Come on!
Look at
Let me
it!"
see it.
All right, maybe we could show like a bus or something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, let's
Piranha bus, maybe
take
the pirate bus.
Take a look at the boss before we head out here.
That's Piranha Man. So we're skipping a bit. You know, usually you start with Piranha Man, and you find out you can swim underwater, and then you find this shipwreck.
We have a lot of coins at our disposal at this point in the game.
All right. Yeah, this is a hacked save.
Right. That's cool.
Let's see him in the retro.
Oh, it's supposed to be the same, right?
Yep.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah.
No background.
They didn't have the background because they're using the they couldn't have big sprites
Too many
like
sprites.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's
Every
actually
bit
using the background to display the character.
Huh. That's cool.
Actually, I have the equipment I have makes it.
Are those meat hooks he's throwing at you? What is it? Or are those just hand hooks?
Hand hooks.
I don't know.
Well, it can be both, you know.
Things of my nightmares. Guy with a hook for a hand throwing them at me infinitely.
I like when blocking them with the
Yeah,
shield.
nice.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah.
I'm sort of cheating here because my stats were very high. Yeah, because of this kind of things where you buy equipment. The nice thing is that if you're not good at the game, then you will end up making lots of more money by replaying again, and then you can buy the best,
Buy the better stuff.
better equipment.
Yeah.
So you kind of self-balance in a way.
Are your difficulty modes? Do they make changes to enemy placement, or is it just kind of like take less damage, do more damage?
So
sort of numbers?
there's a few more enemies, but the enemies pattern like sort of tweaked also. So they would like shoot faster, jump faster on you. Cool. I'm gonna actually go.
Should we show the Japanese castle with the lion?
Yeah, let's do that.
That'd be great.
Actually, I can.
Oh, secrets.
I like the dragging the sword behind him.
Yeah.
Animation.
He's got a great running animation. If you go to the original and kind of see what they did to his animation, he's all legs right here, and he's got this goofy little sort of cat face, but he's very he's sort of very fluid and very floppy. All these characters are very cute.
Yeah, that's really cool. The art is really nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
it really is.
Yeah.
Let's should we look at the. Should we?
Yes, you can skip directly to the castle. I think.
Teleport to the thing. Let's see. Well, okay.
Is this the ninjas? Oh yes.
So yeah, the lion is the kind of the strong one, and his attacks goes kind of upward and downward, so you can break some blocks that you couldn't with other characters.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Wow. Yeah.
These guys, their little animations are so. It's just their expressions are so funny, and if you go into the retro version, you can see the detail that they took originally to almost sort of create the same effect. Everyone's got their little hit animations. It's really it's awesome.
It's always been important to have good-looking ninjas. You can tell from the original graphics being really good for the ninjas, just as they are here. Like,
So you see where all the effort was put in.
exactly, yeah.
It's funny because it's a game that has like it has ninjas and pirates and zombies.
Yeah.
And it sort of tick all the boxes of the.
Right.
It does draw from a lot of different games at that time, that era.
He is Wonder Boy. He's worldwide.
Yeah. So how close are you to being done? Like when are you looking to get it out?
It's releasing in spring.
Okay.
So very soon.
getting close.
We're not sure exactly of the dates, but
Soon-ish.
quite soon
Yeah.
we'll figure out when now, and it'll be like PS4, Switch,
Yeah.
and Xbox.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming by. It's looking pretty cool.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It was nice.